Hi guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you like my videos, please subscribe and press the like button. That would be very nice of you. Alexa, what's the time please?
It's 7:48 a.m.
Alexa, what's the day today?
It's Friday the 16th of September.
And Alexa, what's the weather like? Alexa, the weather? Alexa, the weather?
Right now in Rochester, it's 11 degrees Celsius with mostly cloudy skies. Today's forecast is clouds with a chance of showers, with a high of 16 degrees and a low of 8 degrees.
Right guys, so Great Britain is mourning for the loss of Queen Elizabeth II. Okay, so since the Queen passed away, unfortunately, last Thursday, we're in a state of shock. We're saying goodbye to our Majesty and we are keeping things sombre. When you go in the shops, you've got your Majesty on the screens. I did when I went into the co-op yesterday, Her Majesty was on the screen. When I was paying for my shopping, people still have to go shopping, children are still going to school, people are still going to work, and it's difficult for all of us, you know, to keep going on when this sad occasion has happened. For me, it's distressing. For other people, it's distressing. For those people that are still waiting in the queue to see the Queen lying in state, it's distressing. It must be, you know, I feel sorry for these people waiting in the queue all that length of time. But they're very resilient and they're very strong, and I'm very proud of the people that are standing in the queue waiting to see the Queen lie in state. I personally couldn't do it. I couldn't. There's no way I could stand in that queue for hours and hours without having to keep going to the toilet. And I saw on YouTube a video where one of the guards fainted on duty. He fainted on duty and fell on his face. Me personally wouldn't be able to stand in a queue that long. The only time that I've stood up for about 4 or 5 hours was when I went to the Queen's Jubilee with my son, and we stood waiting to see the concert, the Queen's Jubilee concert, and that was a strain on my legs and my health, and I didn't really get to see very much. I didn't get to see, it was only people that had tickets that actually saw members of the Queen, Brian May, up close. I saw it from a screen in the crowds, and I found it quite difficult to stand, and I don't want to do that again, so I'm not going up to London. I know it's a one-time life event, but I would personally like to remember it at home, and I'll be watching the funeral on the television live from my flat. Okay, I am not going up to London. It's just too much, and I won't be doing it. I watched Princess Diana's funeral from my home. I should watch the Queen's funeral from my home. When Princess Diana died, I was in Gloucestershire. The Queen has died, and I am now in Rochester, which is in Kent, the Medway towns in the United Kingdom. The news, YouTube, everywhere is dominated by the Queen's passing. That is understandable because she reigned for 70 years. She's the Queen that we've all ever known. We want to mourn, we want to celebrate, and, you know, we're watching the other members of the royal family come out. We haven't seen them very much, have we? Not really. We haven't seen them. I, like many millions of other people, are finding it hard to cope with the cost of living. The gas and electric, the food is going up. I cannot afford to spend money on train fare, on standing and waiting and buying food. Up in London, I can't afford hotel rooms. I am in Rochester, I am struggling to keep my flat going. Now it's getting colder as well. It's getting colder, and you want to put the heating on first thing in the morning and at night. I can't afford it. Many other people can't afford it. And I can't. And I admit that. I can't afford to go up to London and spend a couple of days up there. I can't afford hotel rooms. So I'm just trying to carry on in a world of chaos. It's chaotic. It's stressful and it's chaotic. Every time I go into the co-op, which may be once a week now, the food's gone up. There are other people in this world. There are people that are starving. There are people that are dying. There are people that can't afford to heat their homes, eat. The Queen was a privileged woman. She was very privileged. The royal family are pretty privileged. And do you know that the public are paying for the funeral? It comes out of the public's money. Maybe not all of it, but the majority of it comes out of the public's money. Most people can't afford a funeral for their loved ones. And I've done my best this week. I've celebrated the Queen. I've sent my condolences. But at the end of the day, I've got to look after myself. Other people have got to look after themselves, or we're going to end up the same way. Okay? And the Queen lived to 96. Everybody was expecting it. They were expecting it. However much of a shock it had been planned, this funeral, the coffin, for 30 years. She was a great woman. She was a fantastic woman. She it's time for change now. It's time for change, reflection, and to make this country a better place and not stay in the Dark Ages. Okay? And we want people to get on. We want the world to be at peace. There's other things going on. We can't concentrate on this all the time. And when the Queen is finally laid to rest, people have got to get on with things. The royal family, it's their mother. You understand that they're out in the forefront. They're everywhere. You understand that? It's their mother. They've lost their mother. But they need to grieve. And you don't grieve by, I would personally grieve inside rather than go out and show myself everywhere. That's my opinion. When my father passed on, I didn't go around telling everybody. When somebody's parent, loved one dies, they want to grieve. They want to share it with loved ones. They don't want to go around, prancing about. I, like everybody else, have problems, and everybody else's problems are being overlooked because of all this. I've got up this morning. I feel been a week of this now, and I'll be quite honest with you, I feel shattered. It's all over the telly, it's all over YouTube, it's all over Facebook, it's all over Instagram. You know, how much coverage do they need? It's a time it's for their mother, to say goodbye to their mother. Not for publicity, it's to say goodbye to their mum. Isn't it? You don't want publicity everywhere. It is to say goodbye to their mother, but they are absolutely everywhere. Today is just going to be like an ordinary day for me. I don't want to watch other people go and just stare at the coffin, you know. I saw my father's body in the coffin. I paid my respects for my dad, and I couldn't stand in my dad's room and for more than a few minutes because it stank of formaldehyde mixed with lavender. People are lucky they can stay in a room that long. My father was not ventilated. The room was not ventilated. It was a tiny room. Tiny. Most people, you know, the public don't get a funeral like this. Nobody's mum or dad, apart from royalty, get a funeral like this. I can't help but think we're being drawn into something, and then how are we going to cope when it's all ended? That's my opinion. How are we going to cope when she's been laid to rest and it's all ended? And the royals have got fantastic publicity, haven't they? Fantastic publicity. And it's disguising the fact that some of them have done wrong things. They have done wrong things. Prince Andrew did do something wrong. Prince Charles, you know, has given homes to paedophiles. This is for me to say goodbye to the Queen. But as for some members of the royals, I personally haven't forgotten what they've done. Okay. Queen Elizabeth II was my queen. She was my queen. And everybody else's queen. And I'm saying goodbye to my queen. As for the others, I'm not so sure. Whether this is just some kind of massive publicity. It's everywhere. When you lose someone, you don't want it all over the place. You don't go out everywhere, do you? When you've lost someone, you mourn indoors and be respectful. I can't help but think it's some kind of publicity stunt myself. I'm sorry, that guard, the guard fell on his face, standing up that long. He fell over, he fainted, the guard fainted. And people should be allowed to protest silently. But not the Queen. The Queen, I think, was a wonderful woman. A wonderful, wonderful woman, a wonderful, strong, resilient woman. But as for the rest of them, I'm not so sure. I'm not. So I'm celebrating the passing of our Queen. This isn't publicity for the rest of them. And I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee and see you later.